Yo, what is up guys? It is Bumfris, back with episode 76 of our Reddit series. This one's going to be a new one. It's going to be r/RaisedByNarcissists, and I know you're going to love this one. I've read through some of the stories, and for those of you that don't know, it's kind of like entitled parents, but obviously it's parents with narcissistic traits. The only real difference is it's generally about the poster's parents. So yeah, sit back, relax, and enjoy something a little bit different. So a little background, I'm a 21-year-old girl from India. I live with my parents, and we are an average middle-class family. I'm a student of electrical engineering, and it's my last semester. My mother controls every aspect of my life. She's done so since I can remember. She controls who I become and remain friends with. She decided which degree I chose and which college I went to. She decides my clothes and everything you can think of. The few times that I do things that I want end up with her trying to guilt me and then getting angry when the guilting doesn't work. She has verbally abused me since I was a kid, and the first instance that I can remember of this is when I was in grade 5. She may have been doing it before that, but this is the first instance I can remember. As for what happened today, my own mum cut off my underwear's crotch. My undies had a little hole on the side for a few days, and I kept forgetting to bring out a new one because the past week has been crazy busy. I've got my submissions and vivas coming up and my semesters in a month, and honestly, underwear was not even the last thing on my mind. I have no idea why she even looked at my undies in the first place. I was in a hurry today, so I just wore them without looking because I was on the phone at the same time. The whole way from my home to my college, I could feel my pants rubbing up against myself, and it was super uncomfortable, like I felt as if something had gotten inside my pants. I checked when I reached my college and I couldn't help but cry. So I did the first thing that came to mind and called my sister because she plays pranks on me sometimes, and she said she didn't know anything about this. I then pulled down my pants a bit so they wouldn't rub and went about my classes. During the break, my mum called me, literally laughing out loud about how stupid I was and how it serves me right for wearing such panties that were so flimsy. Flimsy? They were normal underwear from Jockey, just with thinner elastics. We had an argument after I came home and I seriously cannot stop crying. I'm so angry. She tore my panties because those were the ones that I had brought for myself without asking her. I'm 21 years old. I'm capable of choosing what underwear I'm comfortable in. I've just got to say first, and I have a feeling I'm going to be saying this a lot, but what kind of person does something like this regardless of the situation? Like, what was it that was going through your head to lead up to actually cutting somebody's underwear just out of spite? I really do not understand, and if it means I have to think like that, quite frankly, I don't ever want to understand. I know each parent has their own opinion of when it's okay to, I suppose, let somebody go or be independent, but at 21, this story is a whole new kettle of fish. My parents have been divorced for over 15 years, yet my mum continues to try and make my dad's life as difficult as possible. She is a lawyer who works for the government and receives a 6-figure salary plus a pension after retirement, so she's not in any sort of desperate situation. Despite this, she is very careful to make sure that she offers as little financial support as possible, while my dad has covered nearly all of the cost of living for me and my siblings. My dad has been taking care of my 2 siblings plus 3 step-siblings, while my mum has been supporting herself. Recently, my mum realized that due to an agreement in the divorce papers, she would have to give my dad a very small percentage of her pension and became absolutely livid. She told me the same lies through tears about how horrible he was to us and how he's responsible for every bad thing in my childhood. She wants me to hate the man who supported me along the way while she sat in the sidelines and just watched. She told me that she's actually wishing that his kidney transplant fails in the next few years so she never has to give him a cent of her money. I was horrified. My dad had paid thousands of dollars in child support over to her, none of which we ever saw, supported me through high school, and is now helping me through college. Everything done by my mum is for her own benefit. She literally has wished death upon the most important person in my life over money. Thank you all so much for the kind words of support. I am incredibly thankful for all of your advice. I'm currently in college and taking classes near both of my parents, so I do see her occasionally. I don't intend to maintain any direct contact with her as soon as I've graduated. My dad is also making sure to take good care of his transplant so he can be there for me and my siblings. I just couldn't imagine living my life with one functioning human being as a parent and the other one who pretty much treats me like trash, and for that trashy one to then go and say that they want the other one dead. How low can you get, really? If you're so bad that your own daughter feels this way about you, well, it's probably time to have a good look at yourself in the mirror. So, my brother got married yesterday, and my mother hates his now wife. She's beautiful and lovely, and by the way, doesn't stand for nonsense. Anyway, it's story time. So, my mother literally took over the whole wedding. She brought decor to sabotage the bride's existing color scheme, etc. Planned things that she knew she hated, brought a white outfit, and invited tons of people neither the bride or the groom knew. She even cancelled their wedding cake and revamped it for them as she wanted. She refused to use the bride's hair tech who came to the hotel in the morning and brought her own one in. She made her take over one of the bridal party's power sockets to do her own hair, making the bridesmaid late for her next duty. Basically, she chose the food, drinks, everything. Table decor, the lot. Sat in the car on the way there and started to insult the car choice, cried in the car, walked down the aisle in front of the bride to meet my brother and hand him over. Told the bride her makeup was a little bit much and started trying to touch her face. She insulted the bridal party's outfits, had a suspected broken wrist at the venue just before the first dance with her and her father, and the list just goes on. Anyway, as I said before, this lady normally takes no nonsense, so you're probably wondering, how is this the best wedding ever story, seeing as she got the whole thing taken over? Well, they got married in a beautiful garden setting with someone that they had previously booked themselves to marry them. And at the end of the night, everyone had pretty much left. My mother looks super proud of herself, clearing away her decor, telling everyone how lucky they are to have her, when the bride asks everyone to gather around. The family do so, and then she says, "Thank you all so much for sharing this day with us, and I know that it was so hard for my mother to accept that her son is marrying now." And my mother is just glaring at her. She then says, "As we've had so many surprises from my mother-in-law, we thought we would give her one special one of our own, seeing as how the whole thing has been so important to her and how we feel everything got lost in planning, which we appreciate so much, but we feel she didn't enjoy the day. So we've booked our own vows next weekend in our home for her to really enjoy. We have arranged all decor, etc. So all you need to do is turn up as planned at 10 AM and our own blessings will be conducted. We have arranged everything, so you just need to be there." Then they just smiled straight at my mum. Everyone else was so elated, as we all know it wasn't the day they wanted, and my mum couldn't say a word as everyone was so happy with the surprise and that my sister-in-law had made it about my mother-in-law and her efforts. For anyone confused, Saturday was the big wedding. Tons of people. Next weekend was a pre-planned family lunch just for immediate family. They got married for real on the Saturday with everyone there. They are just having their own blessings at home next weekend. Ooh, I like this one. Just a little bit of clapback from the sister-in-law and just enough so that it flies under the radar. I don't even remember what subreddit we're doing anymore. Is this entitled parents? Is this petty revenge? Who even knows? Whatever it is, it's great though. I was raised by a single mum together with a younger sister. I graduated from college about a year ago and I have a full-time job ever since. My mum paid for my tuition fees, but I was working freelance in college to pay my phone bill and provide myself allowance. Now that I'm working, I contribute monthly for household expenses. My sister has an autoimmune disease, so there's a lot of responsibility weighing on me, especially when I'm the only person my mum can depend on. My mum is a good provider, no doubt about that, but she only treats me as an adult when it's convenient for her. She discredits my achievements and tells me things like, "I paid for your school fees and raised you. You got your job because I paid for your degree and I'm here to give you career advice." The way she talks to me always gives me the "you're nothing without me" kind of vibe. It's toxic, I know. I realize that it's affected my decision making because I always need to consult people for the smallest things. So when I told her I wanted to move out because my new office will be downtown, she mentioned how she doesn't want me living far away because we're a small family and I should be spending more time with them as much as possible. Just note, I'm really close to both of them, but my mum can get psychologically manipulative and emotionally abusive sometimes. She told me that when the two of them die, then I can live freely and be on my own. She also always mentions how she paid for my tuition fees and raised us by herself. When I try to open this up to her, she gets very dramatic and defensive, which is why I usually try to avoid the topic because she'll play the victim. She also told me that what I'm doing indirectly tells her that I will abandon her when she grows old. The truth is, I just want to learn how to be independent and stand up for myself. I will still support them when I move out, but I just want to break free from her psychological manipulations. Every time I do something for myself, I can't help but think, will mum approve of this? I just want to be guilt-free. But the more she says things like this, the more I want to move out and get myself out of this toxic relationship. I'm very close to my sister and she knows my built-up hatred towards my mum. I'm at a crossroads. I really don't know what to do. Also, my mum told me that I should forget about me having a mum and sister when I move out. She also nags at me for spending time with my friends, but I don't really like hanging out with her because all we talk about is her self-pity or her crapping on other people. What should I do? You know, I'm sure there's a lot of people that are a lot more qualified to give advice on this kind of situation than I am, but if I was in this situation, I would be the hell out of there before I could even say bye. Granted, I do understand that that's easier said than done when you've had somebody psychologically manipulating you for your entire life, so I don't really know what the right answer is in this situation. I know from an outside perspective it's a get the hell out of there, but internally it must be a real challenge. I'm luckily independent enough to do this, and just a while ago I was spending a good night drinking with my friends. I haven't posted anything anywhere aside from this alt account that she doesn't know of for a long while in fear of provoking her, but yesterday, after some drinks and 3 shots, I decided to send a giant FU. She always complains about me becoming an alcoholic whenever I have a drink. She was once at my house and noticed a wine bottle. She was extremely annoyed that I, of legal age, had something that I like in my own home. Just note that my alcoholism equals maybe one night at a bar or pub with a friend a month, wine for special occasions, and a cider maybe once every 2 or 3 weeks. Wow, very terrible. So I went ahead and posted something after a long time. A picture of me having fun with friends, and my mum doesn't really have any friends. She fluctuates between proud that I have a social circle she can talk about and bitter that I spend too much time out. Anyway, me and my friends were inside a local pub. I even tagged the place, and it was an area she wouldn't touch with a stick, and I was drinking alcohol. It was a drunk decision, but I'm feeling way good about it now too. Drunk me did good. You know what I love about this subreddit the most? It's not just people that are sad about their situations, and granted there's some pretty bad situations, but it's people that are actually showing that you can get back at your parents that are narcissistic. What I would love to see though is how the narcissistic parents react when the kids finally stand up for themselves. Maybe they'll learn to be better parents, who knows? That's not to say I have anything against people with personality disorders. I know it's something that a lot of people suffer from and it can be quite challenging, but maybe it's an opportunity for them to work on it, and that's the best you can really ask for. Alright everyone, that is that for today's episode of r/RaisedByNarcissists. I just want to start off by saying thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video. I want to try and start a new trend with a subreddit like this, kind of like we did with Entitled Parents way back when nobody was posting it. We made an episode of it and it absolutely blew up, and it's amazing to think what it's become now. So if you guys could give me some subreddits that you think would be super fun and super enjoyable, maybe even something we haven't tried before. There was that church drama one we mentioned in a few videos ago. I wouldn't mind trying something like that out even. But yeah, let me know in the comments some of these unknown subreddits, because some of them are absolute gold mines and I would love to see them. Otherwise, I do just want to say thank you to everyone who's been watching my videos lately. The whole Reddit community has seen a little bit of a drop in views lately, and that's absolutely fine. Whether people don't want to watch the videos or the YouTube algorithms change, I don't know, but at the end of the day, I do just want to thank every single person that still watches my videos. I know a lot of you aren't getting the notifications like you used to, so that's a little bit tricky, but thank you to every single person who comes every single day and watches regardless. But yeah, sorry for the long outro. I will wrap things up there. I just want to say again, thank you so much for watching the video. I really do hope each and every single one of you enjoyed. I hope you're all having a fantastic day, and I'll see you all tomorrow for an episode of Entitled Parents. Bye.